Hey my happy growers, I'm coming to you with the tutorial that I was talking to you about going ahead and trimming my hair. As you can see, I got a lot of hair, but there is a lot of damage in it. The last time I believe I trimmed my hair was probably like everyone else around the start of the pandemic. So today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim and clean up my ends. And as you've seen in the picture that I posted on Instagram, there were 3 different types. You've seen healthy hair, you've seen one that was split in 2s, and then you also seen one that had a knot. All that is on my head. And split ends happen from combing, blow drying, flat ironing. Knots happen from styling, pulling, just everyday wear and tear on your hair. So that's why it's highly recommended to get regular trims. I recommend every 8 to 12 weeks. I have not been following that plan, so that's why my hair is jacked up. So what I'm going to do actually, I know I recommend about 1/4 of an inch for me because it has been longer than 12 weeks. I'm going to go closer to an inch on my hair all the way around and throughout. And so you may be wondering, what does an inch look like? So one of the cool things that they taught me in beauty school, and you guys probably already know this, this lovely little comb that you can get from the beauty supply store. I think I got this one from Sally's. It's a black comb. Have you ever wondered what those numbers mean on there? You see that? If you look very closely, I'll try to put it up to the camera. If you can see, oop, went too high. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys, that symbolizes inches. Exactly. So if you wanted to measure what 1 inch would be like, it's right here. That's about 1 inch of hair. Now, I know I said for those who are doing it regularly and consistently, that are obedient and love their hair, you guys want to stay somewhere in this range, which is about 1/4 of an inch. If you wait a little bit longer, half of an inch is pretty good, which is right here. And for me, I'm just going to do a full 1 because I think it's time. What does 1 inch of length look like cut off? Well, let's see. I'll hold that up. You can see. I don't know if you can see. That's why I wore a white shirt. I wanted to be able to let you guys see. So it'll be about right there. It's the longest tip. It'll come here. And my hair, it actually still has some body in it. And it moves a little bit. But it's not as much body as I know that it can have. And that's because I have dead hair right now hanging on the ends, those knots hanging on the ends. And even I noticed that I get a little bit more frizzy or quicker. You may be wondering what products I use on my hair. I use today the Essentials Kit, which is our shampoo, our conditioner, and our leave-in conditioner. And I blow dried my hair with the Kiss ceramic blow dryer, handleless. And I use the Infrashine flat iron as well to straighten my hair. So let's begin. First off, very, very importantly, I always recommend going to a professional to get your hair cut because we are trained, we are skilled to do so, and there are certain techniques that you learn for different hair textures, and you know what you need to be doing. So the shears that I'm going to be using today, these are professional shears. What is the difference between professional shears and regular shears? First of all, professional shears are called shears, and they're not called scissors. These would be like your scissors from any drugstore. Never, ever, ever cut your hair with these. Why? This is made for cutting paper, for cutting harsh things. This will strip and ruin your hair and in fact cause more split ends. Yes, that's one thing that I always try to tell my clients, stay away from these. Don't ever give yourself a haircut with anything like this. Shears, where can you get those? Sally's behind the counter. They will have professional shears. And this is a really good brand here that I've tried, which is called Fromm. It's a professional line. It's made for professionals, but you can still buy it over the counter. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Professional shears run anywhere from $38 to $300. So depending on how fancy you want to get, you'll be happy to know these were on the lower end. So I didn't go really big, really big high. I'm not cutting a lot of hair these days, as I'm more so behind the scenes. But in my salon days, I do have the higher up pairs for when you're doing a lot of cutting every day. So for what you might want to try to do, if you're going to do your kids' hair or you're going to do your hair, these will be just fine. And I will add, these are very sharp. You can easily nick yourself. In fact, there's so many nicks and cuts I got all over my hands at my knuckle base from cutting hair. So be very careful. Please be careful. And if you are a child, do not do this. Do not cut your own hair with scissors, please. Don't, or shears. Don't do it. Okay, so what I'm going to start with, because I am a curly girl. You guys have seen my hair curly. I have a natural corkscrew curl. When I cut my hair, personally, I like to blow dry and straighten my hair. For me, it is my personal preference because I can get more of a precise cut. Now, I know some of you that may wear your hair curly, you may have different type of curly cuts. You get your hair cut when it's curly. There's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome, because a lot of times those styles are made to be cut certain ways. When you're wearing your hair curly, you want it to pop a certain way. But me, because I am always in between straight, curly, I wave my hair, I roll my hair, I do different things with my hair. I like a little bit more precision because I want to know where my hair is going to fall, because I want to know how I can style it. So for me, personally, with my curly hair, that's just the route that I go. So that's why you notice my hair is blow dried and it is not wet. Now, if you have straighter hair, you know, wet hair cutting, you've seen that in the salon too. On yourself at home, maybe just dampen it a little bit, not so wet. When the hair is wet, it does stretch quite a bit, and that's where you definitely want to have the skill of a licensed cosmetologist. But anyway, moving on. So I'm going to begin with parting my hair off into sections. Now, I personally have always cut my own hair, you guys, because the life of a hairstylist, you are so busy taking care of everybody else. And I'm very picky about my haircuts. I know how I like my hair to cut, and I know how I like it to move and bounce. So over the years, I got in the habit of just learning to trim it myself. As you see here, I got quite a bit of damage. In my opinion, I do. You know, it may not look to the modern eye, but it does. I need to. It's not moving like I'm used to it moving. So I'm going to begin by parting my hair into sections. And I'm going to look away for a little bit. So you guys, if you notice me looking this way, it's because I'm looking into the mirror and I want to get a good cut, okay? So I'm still with you. So I kind of sliced it in half, the top of my head down to the ear, each side. So I'm going to do it in sections. So then I'm going to twist this here up out of the way clearly so I can see. This is also a tool that you want to get when you're cutting your hair. Make sure you have Duckbill Clips. These are more of the professional grade metal ones that you use when you're roller setting your hair. They were out of the cute little plastic, fun little rose gold ones. So I went old school and I just got the regular clips. I am so ready for this, you guys. It's been so long. Okay. Taking another section about here to here. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the same. Now, because I am cutting it myself, I'm going to slice it down the center. And I'm going to pull both of these this way because these are my length. And this is what I'm going to measure from the front because that's what I can see. I'm not behind myself working. So that's what I'm working with. And so what I do... And make sure you sit up straight. Your feet are flat on the floor. Never cross your feet. When you cross your feet, you are uneven and you're going to have an uneven cut. So I'm just gonna start from here. Okay, so let's begin with our trim. Now you notice the shears that you buy that are professional, they have a little loop at the top. This is a rest usually when you're in the salon and if you're cutting like that. This is the direction that you want to hold your shears in, okay? And I'll let you see how that is. Well, that's how I'm holding them. And I've got about my inch. I don't need to use my comb because I know I've gauged over the years where my inch is. And you notice I didn't just go, I went. And you see the difference? Look at that. You see the life that quickly. I got hair all over me. Just a little bit more life already. And it's amazing how even when you trim your hair, it seems a lot longer than what it is. Let's see this side here. Yeah. So I've already did this side here. I'm going to go ahead and do this side. And I know I'm working with an inch. So that's how I know I'm going to be even in the back side. Now this part's a little tricky. I'm going to be honest with you. What I do is I comb it back because I want to make sure I don't have that dip down in the center. Now some people like that natural dip and that's fine. For me, I want a really blunt, bouncy look. So I don't want that. So what I do is while laying this flat, I kind of lightly fold bend. I put my hand here, fold bend this up where I can see it. And of course my hair is a little bit longer so I can see that, you know. And you notice, kind of gives me an idea of where I'm at. Feels so good to cut your hair. So you notice I got that little peak right there. Don't know if you can see it. So I'm just gonna snip that off and then let that pop down. Now let's check ourselves in the back. So I got a little handheld mirror. This is my little best friend when I'm cutting my hair. That's why I got on a white shirt so you guys can kind of see how that looks. So good, I'm even. So now I'm gonna go to the next layer and bring everything down. So we've pinned this top section here. Are we gonna bring the whole thing down? No. I'm actually gonna take this in half. But before I do that, I'm gonna do half by half. So the next section you wanna bring a piece down from here. This is gonna make it very easy for you guys. I should clip that out of the way. So I'm gonna line this up with the part that I just cut. Like so. And you'll be able to see how that hair hangs over that line. And that's how you'll be able to keep your line clean. So I've already measured the back. I know what that center's like. It's already hitting that weight line. So I know it's gonna be even as long as I stay on this line. So I got my line and I'm just going to, and I even pull it because I got tension here and I'm going to trim it. Just say cutting your hair yourself is not for the faint of heart, just so you guys know. Yeah. Then I'm gonna go do a little detailing right in here, just a little bit, because I notice I got some little fuzzies and I want those off. I'm so sick of those. Oh, I feel so much better. Look at that. Already moving. I'm so happy. Okay. My next section, so I'm gonna do the other side. Exact same thing. Kind of a cute style, huh? Just little clips in your head. Gotta have a little fun, right? All right, my next section, just gonna repeat, comb it down to that cut line. And I already have everything even. So I'm gonna cut it, and you do need a mirror for this, so make sure you have a mirror in front of you when you're using it. Then I'm gonna kind of pull this up just a little bit, because you see how I got a little bit of a point? I don't know if you can see that, and it's a little fuzzy. I kind of pull that up, and I just kind of trim it down too. Perfect. Now this center section, we'll pull that down again. And I'm just gonna flip this part up. And because I do have layers, that top section of my hair is not going to come all the way down with my length, if you know what I'm saying. So like the way your hair grows, this is always like the longest point. See that? And then you got the hair that's up here. It's growing out of your head at the same direction, but it's center. And it goes, and it always kind of comes about here. Some may be completely down there, but for my hair, it's not. So what I need to do, I need to catch this layer. And so for me, I kind of take about the ball section. When I mean by that, like around here. I take that. And I kind of pull it sideways so I can see the ends. Look at that, it's horrible. And so then I just kind of go down like this. Oh my gosh, so much better. And that way I captured that center part and I got it good. So I'm gonna turn around just so you guys can see that we're still on point. Always like to check when I am cutting. All right, you see the movement, the body, and I might actually right in here just take just a little bit more because I have some color on my hair, and that's a whole nother episode that I will talk to you guys about bleaching, hair coloring. And my hair, it is fine. You probably can't even see it, it's that fine. But the strands are similar to, when I say fine and coarse, coarse is not a bad thing. Coarse is like a strand that's built of 3 parts: medulla, cortex, and the cuticle. So that part is strong. It's like a cord. You know, a cord has 3 cords and it's just firm. It's nothing's tearing that apart. When you have hair that's like mine, that's more silk, fine texture, it can literally break like that. See? So having fine hair, I have to always be conscious of making sure that I am trimming it and taking care of it. So like I said, I'm gonna go back in the center and I just want to work on it a little bit more. I kind of want to pull it up and see where that bad stuff is, and it's about right there. And I can feel the difference too. Feels better. Okay, so now let's get to the sides. These are going to be your easier parts because they're closer in the front. So kind of slice this down in half. And I like to go section by section. That way I feel like I'm really getting all the hair. So that's why I'm not just pulling it all down at once or pulling it all up. So this part here, so going around to the front. I'm going to come a little closer so you guys can see. Hope you can see because I'm trying to cut and look at you guys. You see that? Little fuzz there. See my line here? Pretty much. So I'm going to line myself up just like that. Now let's do this section here. Let's go here. I'm gonna do the same thing. My front is a little damaged too because I did have some hair color and it just tore my hair up. I love color, you guys, but it is not good for you. I'm just checking myself and that looks good. All right, got my last section. The reason I parted my hair in the center is because I like symmetry all over. So I like, and I actually recommend when you're cutting your own hair, that's a good place to cut it. And I'm kind of going at an angle here because I kind of like that natural fall in the front. And that's kind of what I got going on. And this part's a little bit shorter, so I figured I'd just keep with it. So, I don't know if you can see that. And its movement. And then let's do this last section and we will be complete. Kind of got the same thing going on there. You can see that frizz, but you can still see my line. My line is about here, and you see how that's just frayed? That hair is so dead. It is so tired, and it's like that little plant that is no longer going to produce. We'll take that off. That's another thing I might add. You know, when you do have dead ends, especially like the one that I showed you guys in the picture where it's split in two, excuse me. That hair's not gonna grow. I mean, it might grow from the root, but it's gonna continue to split all the way up your hair shaft, and you're gonna have fuzzy hair. Your hair's not gonna hold moisture. It's not sealed, you know. When you have split ends, you have an opening for moisture to escape. And that knotted end is only going to put more friction on the hair, and I'm gonna have breakage at that spot. So it's good that I cut that off. All right, so on this side, be careful with your shears, guys. I'm gonna do the same. I got my line. I see my line. I don't know if you can see my line, but there's my line. And there's my inch I'm taking off. So it's lined up. And I'm there. Oh, that feels so good. I feel like something is happening inside when I cut my hair. I don't know what it is, but like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, like a new woman or something. It just feels so good. Like to let go of the old and embrace the new, right? I know everybody's at home, and you know, a lot of hair salons, I know at least here in California, they're shut down due to the pandemic. So a lot of our stylists are, you know, missing their clients, and their clients are missing them. So a lot of people I know are looking on YouTube or looking on different places to find how to cut your own hair. Videos out there, I know, with the pandemic, people cutting their hair. So it's good I'm glad that I can make something like this just from a professional perspective of how to go about it if you decide that's something you're going to try. Okay, so I'm going to finish off with this section. I'm going to check my center because I went from both sides. And I'm pretty even here, actually. But I'm going to take this because I like a little light layering. I'm going to take this down. And I'm just going to make sure everything's dusted up. My hair feels much better, much better. And tomorrow I can't wait to take it out when I wrap it up. See how it's going to look. Okay, for this, you notice I am using a comb because I am combing out the dead hair. All right, look at that, you guys. I'm even. Looks good. Let's turn around and do a check for the back. And my hair your hair should move. You see that movement at that weight line? That's the movement I like. You just want to turn your head and look. Ooh, it just went over there, right? That's the kind of hair you want, right? That's what you want to do. You want your hair to move. Okay, so this is the back. Yeah. I'm going to be a good girl, you guys. I'm going to trim my hair every 12 weeks like I'm supposed to. All right. So, that's it. That's my little at-home trim tutorial. So I hope you guys liked it. I hope that it was informative, and I hope that it's something that you can see that if it's something that you have to do for yourself at home, that you at least have a little bit of a guide. So thank you for sitting with me this afternoon, and I will talk to you guys on the next time.